Now we are going to see about Unit 2 Heat Treatment in ME 8491 Engineering Metallurgy. In this heat treatment process, we are going to see about the what is annealing and normalizing, hardening, tempering of the steel and isothermal transformation diagrams, and astempering, mass tempering, and hardenability, Jomny and quench tests, and carburizing, nitriding, cyaniding. So these are all the things that we are going to cover in this unit. So after completion of this unit, that we students can able to explain the isothermal transformations, continuous cooling diagrams, and different heat treatment processes. So the introduction of heat treatment. The properties of the metal and alloys can be changed in the desired heat treatment process. We know that the name itself, what is meant by heat treatment, by using heat, by using the temperature, we are going to treat the material. How we are treating the material? By increasing the temperature and cooling down to the room temperature. So this kind of a process can be done in separate manners and different strategies to be followed. So by using this strategies, that we can able to do the heat treatment process. Why we need heat treatment for alloys and steel? The heat treatment is the controlled heating and cooling of metals for the purpose of altering their properties. We all know about that the engineering design, it requires several kind of properties, several kind of material properties to need to solve the purpose. But unfortunately, all the materials are doesn't having all the requirements or all the mechanical properties of materials. So, in order to obtain the overcome this problem, we need some desired properties on specific materials, but it is not available on nature or by nature of this material. So, by using these heat treatment processes, we can add the materials or we can add that properties or we can enhance and control the properties of that materials by using this heat treatment process. Since it can be generally alter the mechanical and physical properties of metals and alloys. So it is the most important parameter. It is widely used in the manufacturing processes. What is the purpose of heat treatment? To improve the machinability, to refine the grain size, to soften the material, to improve the hardness of the metal surface, to improve the ductility and toughness, to change the chemical composition, to increase the resistance to wear, heat, and corrosion. So these are all the purposes why we are going with heat treatment. Finally, what is meant by heat treatment? It is a operation or combination of operations involving heating and cooling of metal or alloy. If we take a metal, we are going to heat or cool. Whatever is the process we are going to done, it is coming under heat treatment process. While heating the element and cooling the element, we can making some different kind of a strategies and what kind of a temperature to be heated up and what kind of a temperature and how much time is required to cooling down to the room temperature. So these are all the parameters that we have to analyze and making different kind of strategies to be followed in a solid state to obtain the desirable properties. It is not in the liquid state that we have to identify that the properties and the phases can be maintained as solid state only. So this should be most important. Or otherwise we can name it as heat treatment is the process of which metal alloy is heated beyond the critical temperature and cooled at controlled rates. This controlled rate is most important. Controlled means as per our specifications that we can control how much it should be cooled in the stipulated time. So this can be the controlled rate of cooling. At the same time, controlled rate of heating is also possible. So by getting different microstructures, why we are making these things means because we are going to get the different microstructures and desired mechanical properties. Because mechanical properties are varied based on their heating and cooling processes. So cooling and controlled rates. What happens means rapid cooling. If we make rapid cooling, then the structure will be hot structure. If we make slow cooling, then the structure will be soft structure. So this is a general thing that we are going to see the in-depth manner. Stages of heat treatment. So what is the stages of heat treatment? Means heating a metal or alloy beyond the critical temperature. Why we need to beyond the critical temperature means critical temperature is the point that the temperature of the material is going to be change its phase. So if we took the material beyond this temperature, then only we can able to control the entire material properties can be changed by using this above the critical temperature to be maintained and holding at the temperature for a sufficient period of time to allow the necessary changes to occur. And by heating the element is not that much important, even holding the element is most important. If we are maintaining the same temperature for a particular time to in order to make the necessary changes in its properties and the microstructures, and also the cooling of the metal. The last thing is cooling of the metal. That is nothing but the quenching process is at the rate of a necessary to obtain the desired properties. This cooling is also in a controlled manner and it is going to desired in the nature form of distribution of micro constituents. So what are the types of heat treatment processes? There are seven types of heat treatment processes. The first one is annealing, and the second one is normalizing, hardening, tempering, astempering, mark tempering, case hardening. So these are all the processes that we are going to see in this unit. Okay. So later on, we are going to see about the step-by-step process, that annealing, what we are going to be doing in the annealing processes. So before that, we are having a knowledge about what is meant by heat treatment process and why it is important and why it is needed for engineering materials. Thank you.